The Coliseum was a place where the best of the best threw down to see who would be the last standing. Some contestants came from nothing, just to rise to the top. What if I started with the bare minimum in Elestrals, just enough packs to make a legal deck? I would clash with other casters with the eventual goal of winning a tournament. Every win would reward a single randomized pack to upgrade my deck, with other rewards along the way. Will I be the last caster standing? It's time to enter the Coliseum. Welcome back to the Coliseum, friends. We are here for episode 19. Once again, the return of Stellar Kristoff. I know I kind of teased it in the last episode, but shout out to Kristoff. Dude's the go. I will tag all of his stuff in the description and whatnot, but odds are if you know who I am, then you already know who Kristoff is. So definitely go check out his channel, show him some love, check out his TCG player. He is the Stellar Hunter Extraordinaire. I believe that's the title, official title. So anyways, yeah, big shout out to Kristoff. Appreciate the games. Good to have you back. I think it's been since episode 2, I want to say. So yeah, been a while. But anyways, yeah, some fun games here. You see the Elestriad mat, sick Elestriad mat on the side of the field right there. Kristoff starts with a Toxion's here. Forces me to expend one, so decent start. Toxion's, I feel like Toxion's an underrated turn 1 play. Like, can't attack, but you know, get the chip damage in. Pretty solid. Go ahead and set 1. It's like you kind of, when you're going turn 1, you want to do something that helps you in card advantage, whether that be, you know, play a card that searches something, like a, you know, an Elechick or whatever, searching the Zeus, or the Divine I should say, but you know, 9 times out of 10 it's Zeus. And if you can't do that, then I feel like Toxion is the next best option. So yep, set 1 back on Kristoff's side, pass it over to me. We'll go ahead and play out the Rummagem. Also did some talking with Kristoff and a few others. Think we're gonna take a new approach to the Spirit deck here, not in this episode, in the next episode. I've been told that it seems super limited to continue with using only spirits that I've pulled in packs, and so I think I'm going to unlimit spirits and just be able to use whatever I want. I think that would make for a more entertaining deck, something with a little more cohesion, I guess is the best way to put it. We have a lot of Fire Nexus pieces, and Fire Nexus being one of the best decks in competitive Elestrals right now. We have a Kinleo, we have 3 Volcanic Forge, and some other things. We'll go over a deck profile either later in this episode or in the beginning of the next episode. But yeah, talking with Kristoff kind of pushed me towards that choice. So yeah, we'll get into that a little bit more later. But anyways, after casting the Rummagem, searching a card, I missed what we searched. Did set a back row and pass it back over. So we see a Toxion number 2 from Kristoff here. So we will unfortunately have to burn another spirit. Toxion Beatdown is a real threat against us currently, so good plays on his part. Go ahead and pay the Leviathan here. Also, I think with kind of along that same, yeah, and then let's see, the Toxion clears, and then I'll pay out the Leviathan right there as well. So, yeah, along the same lines of the Spirit deck choice, we've had that freaking Luminape for since the beginning. We pulled the Luminape in the very beginning and don't have a single. We might have a solar card at this point. I don't think we do though in the collection at all. So that my favorite part of this whole choice will be not having to use the Luminape that we don't have any cards for. So we have to go with a Tornado right here. I want to get rid of that back row, just ensure that our play goes through here. And we'll go ahead and go out with a Spectaris. My thought process right there was if that is a poison-tipped arrow, that completely counters and kills the Spectaris, so we might as well Tornado bounce it, get the Spec on board. He won't be able to clear the Spec with only the Toxion next turn, so decent little swing right there from us. Pass it back over after clearing the Toxion. And yeah, I guess this is a good point, or a good part to point out the Elestriad. Again, if you guys know who I am, you most likely know of the Elestriad. It's the official Elestrals tournament. I believe I don't know if all of the episodes are out at this point. Maybe by the time this goes up, but I don't think so. There's probably still a couple more. But go check it out for sure. Looks like we see an expend to draw on Kristoff's side right there. And we will see a Zeus come down, so a bit unfortunate, but go ahead and burn another spirit right there for the Zeus disenchant in order to get over the spec on our side. We'll see an Amber right here as well, so healing up a few spirits. All three that were in the underworld. See another face down, most likely the one that we spun back with the Tornado last turn, and then the Toxion will get over the Spectre successfully here. So a little bit of back and forth early in this one. Been a couple days, actually I think this was like early last week that Christoph and I recorded this, so been a while. I know there's some crazy plays that come up. I don't know if it's in the first clash or the second clash, but like probably my most favorite play of the entire series happens, so no spoilers, but you know, a little foreshadowing there. We'll go ahead and play out the Mudlet, switch the Toxion to defense, and be able to clear the Toxion, so most likely going to lose our Mudlet right here. Even if Christoph has something small, the Zeus will help him get over it. And we will see a Boombat right here, and that's pretty unfortunate for us, the Boombat. The Zeus allows the Boombat to stay on board, not use its own effect, and clear, which means next turn he can either re-enchant or just use the Boombat effect and then cast something else. So kind of insane right there for the Boombat to be able to clear the Mudlet through battle. And then we do see a second Zeus come down as well right there, so enchanting 3 Zaptors onto the Zeus. Just hoping we don't see a Sonicore. I know Christoph's favorite card is the Sonicore. I know I said that, and whatever the last pack we opened, I think the art was it was a base set, and the art was the Sonicore, and I pointed that out, but we don't have a lot of counter runes to deal with the Sonicore, but the thing itself is just kind of a tank. We'll go ahead and cast out a Galaxy right here. Galaxy swapping itself to a 5/2. Galaxy is an immediate threat to the Boombat. A bit unfortunate right here if the back row is Gorgon's Gaze, because the Gorgon's Gaze in Battle Step will force a crash with the Boombat, which we don't want. It's not the worst case scenario if that happens, because we're still getting rid of the Boombat. However, obviously we want to keep our whale on our side of the field, keep the board presence going. Looks like, yeah, we're doing a little bit of talking here. I think we may have been even discussing the Elestriad or something while we were playing, so bit of a slow play right here on our part. Yeah, I'm looking towards this new Spirit deck, though. I think it's gonna be so fun. I'm gonna want to grind through these games. I also can't wait to be able to play on Clash. I really should. I might actually look at the current list, or the next version of the list, and see if all of the cards are in Clash. Clash would probably be terrible to play in, just because actually real quick, we see an Altar of Stars right there, so that's actually like worst case scenario. It stops our attack, it gets a spirit onto the Boombat that it can immediately disenchant, or he can send over it into a 3-drop, which I don't know if like Voltempest is really scary right here. Zeus is already on board. And we see the wind, and yeah, that's exactly what it is. The Stellar Voltempest from TP 1 or 2 comes down, and Voltempest is a massive threat. It's a 13/10, it does burn damage, and it can't be targeted if Zeus is enchanted. So it does lose the shield. However, Christoph can just sit behind this thing and force me to take damage and not have to worry about anything. So bit scary right here. We kind of hope that face down is shield, and we kind of hope that Christoph gets aggressive right here, swinging in. We will see exactly what happens. I think it has to disenchant, I want to say, a Thunder from itself in order to burn, so we won't have to take any here, and it looks like Christoph will be cautious and just pass. Yeah, anyways, we were talking about the Clash thing, so it would be cool to play some games in Clash, but there's no ban list currently in Clash, and so we would probably be putting ourselves at a disadvantage by going and playing against 3 Laurels, 3 Earthquake, 3 Lavalith, all that fun stuff. So we might actually just wait a little while longer on that front. We will go ahead and cast out a Sprouter right here. Sprouter searching for an artifact. We'll grab the Tunic right there. Trying to figure out some way that we can deal with this Voltempest. We will just go ahead and pass it back to Christoph right there. We will see a re-enchant, and most likely an immediate disenchant on the Voltempest to burn us for 3. Yes, we'll play out 3 spirits right here. Thunder, Frost, and a Water. Go ahead and get those out of here. And Kristoff looks like he still might be playing this one cautious. Smart plays, honestly. Smart plays. So this Voltempest has only triggered its effect one time so far, so keeping it on board, just trying to get some more advantage. Like, Kristoff knows our deck isn't like the best. You know, we have the Earthquake, which doesn't matter because with Zeus up, Voltempest can't be targeted, and so effectively we have no way of removing this thing. Our only source of removal is Shield, and so just by sitting behind it, no threat to his Spirit deck at all. So thinking about some plays right here, I actually think this might have been what I was foreshadowing earlier. We get kind of a dumb play brewing in our head. So we see 3 in Kristoff's hands. Yeah, this is where it gets fun. So the boy Neandersloth hits the board. As you guys know, my favorite card in the deck, 6/5. When it destroys something in battle, it is forces the opponent to discard 2 cards. We see the necklace come down, which is going to buff the Sloth to an 11 attack. And we see the tunic that we grabbed last turn come down as well. We'll put that on the Voltempest, lowering it to an 11. And so the thought process right here is the Sloth can crash with the Voltempest. The tunic effect will proc, forcing Kristoff to take 2 spirits of damage. And Neandersloth technically is destroying something in battle, so we will force Kristoff to discard 2 cards right here. I will have to take a spirit of battle damage right there. But the necklace will also fall, so we won't have to lose spirits to its effect. So kind of a crazy play on our part right here. We get rid of 2 cards from his hand. We force him to take 2 damage. Unfortunately, we lose our Sloth, but like I was saying earlier, there's no way of removing the Voltempest without Shield, except for a crazy, stupid play like that. So love to see it. That's what I was talking about earlier. My most favorite moment in the entire series right there. You know, I know Neandersloth won us a crazy clash. Like, I think our first clash was the crazy one with the carry off shenanigans, but yeah, Neandersloth is just the GOAT. And we saw the Ambro and the Gottabolt right there being discarded, so I think that leaves Kristoff with 1 card, I want to say, and we have a Galaxy and 2 back row, so looking kind of promising for us right here. Very low on the Spirit deck on our side. However, if we don't see any removal, and that's probably the most unfortunate outcome right there. We see a Chick. Honestly, Chick effect doesn't really matter because we know he's already through 1 Zeus, and the second is already on board, so like the effect of Chick doesn't matter too much. Yeah, I believe that's a fail to find right there, so that tells us that Kristoff is only on 2 Zeus in this clash. But just an Elestral that can also get over with Zeus is the unfortunate part right here. So Zeus Disenchant does hit the Galaxy. That forces us to shield right here, paying our last 2 spirits, and basically just GG right here because there's still a spirit under Zeus, and we can swing for 1 right here, but we have no healing, so it doesn't matter what else is in our hand at this point. We just have to hope this Galaxy cannot get cleared, and we just put the Chick back in Kristoff's hand. So a bit unfortunate in this clash right here. We see the Chick come back down, the Zeus Disenchant, and that clears the Galaxy and gives Kristoff the win right here in this one. But super fun clash right there. Like I said, the most fun I have had, most fun moment in the series to this point, clearing that Voltempest with the Neandersloth. So anyways, that's our 3rd loss in a row, and let's hop over to game 2 for episode 19 here. Alright, we are back here for game 2 of episode 19 here. Take 2 for me. My daughter just woke up part of the way through casting over this game, so hopefully this one goes a little better for me, at least obviously you guys don't know any better. Anyway, so Kristoff will go first here again, and this looks like we see a set 2 and a reverse Stellar Magneros hit the board. I believe that is a Magneros. Interesting card. It allows you to foretell cards up to the number of cards enchanted with Thunder, I believe. That's not the correct wording, but I believe it's face-up cards enchanted with Thunder. It allows you to foretell that number. So if you have even if you have a Water Celestial up and it's enchanted with a Zaptor, I believe it counts that as well. So anyways, it lets you Or you might have to Nexus first. I think you Nexus for, yeah, which would be why there was no foretell turn 1. So anyways, you think I've been playing this game long enough that I know effects. I definitely do not. So anyways, Magneros 2/4 will sit in defense and not do anything for the first turn. Set 2, we will take play, cast out a Frostmite, use the Frostmite effect to set the, or not set, it reduces the Magneros' defense by 5, and we will try to battle over it. Unfortunately met with a Gorgon's Gaze right there to stop the attack. Pass play back over, we see the Jolton hit the board, and the search for the Mount Olympus right there. So falling a little bit behind early in this one. Unfortunate that we didn't have any back row to set early in this one, but see what we can do about it. Mount Olympus going ahead, hitting the board right away, and yeah, the full art stadiums from Shattered Stars are absolutely insane. I actually just got my, I don't know what the constellation is for the Frost month, but I just got my Frost packs in and opened them today, and the Mountains of Boreas has to be like the coolest card that I have seen, period. Like, it's just amazing. So yeah, Elestrals really killed it this chapter of Shattered Stars with those full art stadiums. Anyways, let's see what happened. The Frostmite died, we took a Spirited Damage, that stupid Luminate that I was talking about last game. Go ahead and expend it, and we will take play, cast a Toxion, trigger a 1 Spirit right there with its effect. Set a back row, we will try to swing in. Unfortunately, we are met with an Altar of Stars, which kind of crazy right there. Pay 1 for the Altar, Nexus 1 from the Mount Olympus onto the Magneros. Change us to defense, allowing Kristoff to keep his board right here. Next turn, he will be able to start going with some Nexus and Foretells off the Magneros effect right here. We do see a Boombat come out, and we will see Magneros Nexus moving a Spirit over to the Boombat. Bit unfortunate for us. That means Boombat can pop something and still stick on the board if Kristoff wants that to happen. We will see. The Foretell will take place. There are 3, because I think it only counts its board. That's what I was asking right here, because my Toxion is also enchanted with Thunder. Fortunately for us, it only counts for his board. So we will see Foretell of 3, which we see the Godabolt, we see a second Altar, and we see an Ambro right here. So none of these are Thunder invokes. They all will get put back on the deck in whatever order Kristoff wants. I believe there are a few targets for Thunder invokes. Race to the Top is the one that comes to mind, which is limited to 1 right now, so not super consistent. Not likely you're going to hit that on a Foretell, but it does exist. I think there's a couple others I'm blanking right now. I did ask Kristoff in the Clash, and I completely forget what they were. Looks like the Jolton gets over the Toxion right here, and we don't have any response, unfortunately, so we will lose the Toxion. Pay out, 3 Spirits right here, yeah, an Earth and 2 Waters for the damage from the Boombat and the Magneros. We will take play. Draw a card, a bit behind in this one early. It's a manageable board to get through, the highest attack being the 4 Jolton. We do have a Necruff right here, so this is an automatic threat, assuming that back row is nothing. Necruff being a 5 attack. If it kills something in battle, forces the opponent to expend 1. So we go try to swing over the Boombat, and unfortunately met with a Gorgon's Gaze again right here. So a bit unfortunate. We see double Gorgon's Gaze in this one, or we don't see it, but you know, we see it on Kristoff's side, I should say. So Necruff will just be sitting here. A bit unfortunate. Boombat can get rid of it very easily if there's no other removal options. And looks like Kristoff making some space to go even wider right here. What do we see? Another thing, yeah, the Boombat has 2 Spirits. That's what he did in game 1, ascended. I don't know where post came from. Ascended over the Boombat into the Old Tempest. So, what do we see? We see an Eddy come down, Eddy effect, targeting the Necruff. We will see the Magneros Nexus 1 from Boombat to the Eddy. We see the Godabolt, the Ambro from the last turn. That means we know he has Altar in hand. We see the Boombat, and I believe that was Chick right there as the other 2. So once again, not able to add anything to hand. But this board is getting worse by the second. Kristoff will be able to clear the Necruff in battle and swing for 4 damage right here. So kind of a slow board right here. Or slow to set up this board, I should say. Grammar is very hard for me today. Slow to set up this board, but it is kind of putting in work, and that boom bat just continues to be a threat just for the re-enchant or nexus factor onto it and then popping whatever. So we really can't stake a guy either way it goes unless we get rid of that. We know there's an altar set in the back row from the foretell 2 turns ago, so we know we're not going to be able to clear anything in battle right here either. We'll go ahead and set another back row. And we do have to try something, so we will go out with the Comagma right here. Another solid cast. On receive, draw a card, discard a card. No response right there, so we will draw a card, pitch a card. And the Comagma is a 4-2. We'll pitch the Rummagem right here. Feels like in this point Rummagem is way too slow to try to get to resolve, so we'll go ahead and pitch the Rummagem. Comagma is a decent threat right here, just because it can get over the boom bat. But as we said earlier, the Altar of Stars is flipped the Thunder Spirit Nexus from Eddie back to the boom bat. Might have been a small misplay right there. I don't know what Kristoff has in his hand, obviously, but he could have just Nexused the water onto the boom bat, keeping the 4 cards with a Thunder. Actually doesn't matter right here because we see an Ascension over the Eddie into an Elechic effect to search for the Zeus. And at this point, it just feels like it's game over. It doesn't really matter what we have in the back row. We don't have anything to clear 4 guys. So, and then the Zeus is just a little insurance policy that's not even really necessary. So we'll go ahead and start pulling spirits out right here. Looks like we're going to have to take 5 spirits worth of damage. Yeah. Jolting clears, and then we take 5. So we'll take 2 water, 2 thunder, and an earth right here. Getting it pretty low. Oh no, we see the Nexus from the Magneros, so we get another foretell of 4 right here. We see the Voltempest, the Shield, the Astrabit, and the second Shield. So we did get a shuffle after the Zeus search right there, so some new cards popping up. We should know Gottable or Ambro is in hand from the last foretell, I believe. So we at least know a card. There's only 1 in hand and set right there, so that's probably a bluff Ambro if I'm remembering correctly. Been a little while since I played these games, casting them like a week later. Two backer right there. We know we have the Karen's O-Ball, we have a shield, we have a spoiled fruit, we have a poison tipped arrow. Could be a couple things down right there. Let's see a Mudlet hit the board right here. Mudlet, I'm assuming, what do I target? I probably target the chick right here. No, I target the boom bat. We go ahead and play a forest right here. I guess I'm just playing around a potential Argo. We haven't seen an Argo, but playing around a potential Argo. So the Mudlet attack does go through. So yeah, I believe that set is an Ambro. No, it's a Zeus. We did know about the Zeus. Okay, I'm a big dum-dum. We saw the Voltempest last turn, ascend over everything, do some crazy stuff right here. We got 3 or 4 Thunder Spirits. We've got the Lycaris down there as well as a couple Waters. So, yeah, I just flip over the cards. There's the Chains and the PTA, and obviously the Voltempest is going to disenchant, burn, and swing for everything. So, crazy ending to that one right there. Voltempest got its revenge from game 1. GG's to Kristoff. Like I said, big shout out to Kristoff. Go check out his channel. Great guy. Like I can't say enough good things about Kristoff. I'll probably wait until next episode to show the actual deck profile. Kristoff and I were going over it like about this point. I showed him the collection and what existed there, and we were talking about what to do. So I will wait until next episode to show that off. These clashes did go a bit longer, so I don't want this episode to be too long. So something to look forward to next week. But if you guys enjoyed, like and subscribe. Like I said multiple times at this point, go check out Kristoff's channel. Show him some love. Awesome dude. But anyways, until next week in the Coliseum, thank you for watching.